was a busy week for the Utah Jazz, and we are now joined by Eric Woodyard, Jazz beat writer for the Deseret News. Did you catch your breath yet?
Man, it's been busy, man. They call it the off season, but it's not all season.
It's not the off season for us, which is fun though. I love it. So the shocker on Wednesday, although can we really call it a shocker?
I don't think
we
so.
kind of waited for this to develop and happen. Thought it was going to happen. When you saw the Mike Conley trade come up, what was your reaction? And do you believe that this was Plan A for the Utah Jazz this offseason?
I'm not sure if it was Plan A. I think it was the smartest plan. I mean, because you have to consider this market, and a lot of players might not want to come here. So I mean, it's just a fact, pretty much. They deal with that. So I think it would have been taking a gamble trying to go through free agency and depend on the guy that way. So I think the trade made sense. I was more so shocked that they let Jay go.
Yeah.
Everything else kind of made sense, but letting Jay Crowder go, I thought that was pretty shocking, man. And Jay was kind of like the heart and soul of the team a little bit. So. Great guy, man. I'm going to be sad to see him go, not only on the basketball court, but on a personal level as well.
Jay was a fan favorite. Kyle Korver's a fan favorite. A lot of fans thought Grayson Allen had potential. 2 first-round picks. To get a great player, you got to give up something. Do you think that was the right amount? Do you think the Jazz got the best deal they could?
Yeah, I think it was the best deal they could. I mean, because even as much as they gave up, it wasn't like nothing that was like, no disrespect to those guys at all, but it just wasn't like they gave up something that's going to just really hinder this team that much. I mean, I just thought the biggest thing I was most shocked with was Jay Crowder, but I thought it was a solid trade. I just want to see if Mike Conley stays healthy. That's the biggest thing, and I thought it was a good move. I think it was a win-now move.
Now they get Mike Conley. The question is, where does this put the Jazz in the Western Conference? Now, there's a lot of things that need to get sorted out in free agency, like maybe Kawhi comes to the Clippers. Hold on for that, but as of right now, does this trade make the Jazz a contender in the Western Conference?
I think so, man. I mean, obviously with the injuries in Golden State, it's wide open. So you never know, man. I mean, but they entered last year with high expectations and started off slow. So it really, on paper, it looks great. But, I mean, they have to go out and execute.
That brings us to the next step this offseason, free agency.
Right.
Now, we were all preparing for a busy offseason. In fact, I was asking you to come on the show for 2 or 3 weeks because we thought that they would be busy, but then they pull off this trade. So is Tobias Harris still an option? What are the Jazz looking at this summer that's realistic that they can accomplish?
I think they have like a mid-level exception that they can use. It's about $4.4 million, but realistically, I think most of the team is intact. I don't see them waiving Derek. They don't have to waive Derek Favors, so why would you?
Yeah.
He's been so efficient and effective for this team. I think you just roll the dice and keep most of the team you have and try to bring in another guy.
Justin Zanuck said after the draft, new Jazz GM, that the Jazz were still going to be aggressive in free agency. So what do you think they mean by that? What can they really truthfully accomplish with what they have left to work with?
Man, I mean, like you say, just trying to bring in a solid veteran guy. I mean, and I don't know if they will let go of Favors. I don't think that'll happen, but maybe the right situation, maybe they do. You never know. So I think those guys always play the poker face, so you never know, man. I mean, you never know with Justin Zanuck.
Point.
Those guys, they're very tight-lipped. You very rarely hear news leaked out of that circle, so I'm just as interested to see what they do as well. July 6th and that June 30th through July 6th period is going to be huge.
Now, you got a great Q&A with Rudy Gobert that's up on the Deseret News right now, deseretnews.com. An exclusive conversation with Rudy. You went down to L.A., you hung out with Rudy. First of all, what was Rudy's reaction to the Conley trade?
Man, he said he texted him right away. So he said he was sad to lose his teammates, Jay and Kyle and Grayson and those guys, but I think he is in win mode right now. I mean, he's entering his prime. He's trying to get better. He's working with a new shooting coach. Definitely getting some things intact, and I think he's just ready to go.
What's Rudy's summer going to be like? I know he's going to play for France in the World Championship.
Yeah. He's just training in L.A. now. Obviously, the NBA awards tomorrow. He'll come back here for about a month. He just got a brand new state-of-the-art gym in his home that he was showing me. Nice. It looks amazing with his logo on the court and everything. So he'll be doing probably most of his training there and just getting ready for the World Cup.
Now to the draft. Now, the Jazz traded their first-round pick, so it took a lot of the drama out of it.
Right.
I just thought they'd take the second-round pick, and that's what would happen. Last year, they sold their second-round pick.
Yeah, they did.
They bought 3 second-round picks. Well, they traded and bought for 2 of them, of the 3. What was the plan there? What do you think they were doing with 3 second-round picks when second-round picks don't normally make a team?
I know. I think they were just taking a chance and trying to be aggressive. Bringing new talent in. Obviously, the roster is wide open, so some of those guys might have a chance to actually stick on the roster, depending on how they do in Summer League. And Justin talked about that as well after the draft. So I think just that's part of the job of being aggressive and trying to maybe find a diamond in the rough.
They're just small conference guys,
Right.
but you watch the video of these guys.
Yeah, they look pretty
It's
solid.
pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, now to Donovan Mitchell. He's been more and more low-key this summer, but some big news with him is his shoes are coming out, and you've got some insight on that. You know what's going on with the shoes. What's the latest on his shoes with Adidas?
They'll be in stores in Champs and Foot Locker on July 5th for $100. And Adidas might be doing something earlier, though, so we'll have some more news will be coming out next week. So they might even be doing something as early as July 1st with it, with Adidas. But in stores where people can go purchase them, they'll be on Foot Locker and Champs July 5th for $100. And that's the first model. The second model, I think, comes out. It's like the Venom colorway with the pink and stuff. I think that comes out July 18th. So, I mean, he's kind of been low-key, but he kind of hasn't, though. He's been in New York. You know, he's still been doing his training. Chris Brickley and those guys out there. And was back at Louisville working out with Trae Young, preparing for the World Cup training camp. So, yeah, I mean, he's sitting back, but, I mean, he's still a young guy, man. He can't sit still. He got a lot going on.
It's good to be young.
Right.
Well, and I hope the stores here in Salt Lake City are ready when those shoes come out. Pray for those guys that work at those stores.
Everybody in Utah, but all the kids in Utah feel like probably going to have a pair, man. So it's probably
I got to fork up $100 for my 11-year-old, so I'm preprepared for that. Eric, thanks so much.
Man, no problem, man.
Good luck the rest of this offseason. We'll continue to keep track of everything that's going on. You can follow Eric at @E_Woodyard on Twitter and read his work in the Deseret News and DeseretNews.com.